All right, what is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest, and Utah falls to Northwestern in the Las Vegas Bowl. And Utah had a ton of fans out there. I am not there tonight, but I am sorry if you guys are out there. That was not exactly worth the trip. That was a tough go tonight. A similar story to what we've seen all year. I'm going to talk about it in more detail, talk about some of the good, talk about some of the bad, and there was some real bad. This was a game we definitely deserved to lose. So we'll talk about it here in a second. Before we do, I know you probably don't like the situation, but if you could drop a like button on this video as another Ute fan sharing the misery with you, I'd appreciate that. Also, comment down below. I won't give you guys any specifics on what to talk about. There was a lot to talk about. But, if you just want to vent in the comments, go for it. Also, if you haven't already, we put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. So subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you a part of the community. And share the video with a friend. Maybe it'll help them calm down after such a tough loss. All right, let's go ahead and dive and let's talk about Utah versus Northwestern. Okay, guys, and like I said, there wasn't a ton of good, but I am going to start with something that I did take away from the game as a positive. Um, the defense looked good. We were missing a lot of really good defensive players, and we only allowed 291 yards of offense. And there were times where we really weren't letting up much. So I would just say, considering we didn't have Sione Vaki or Cole Bishop or Jonah Ellis or Lander Barton, the fact that we were able to look like this is pretty exciting. Like, think about that, guys. Sione Vaki and Cole Bishop are for sure gone next year, which means we've got Nate Ritchie and Jonathan Hall, it looks like, as our two starters at safety next year. And they were both starting this game, and I thought, they did a pretty good job. It wasn't perfect, but I thought they did a pretty good job, in the defense overall had a really good day. I still think cornerback 2 had its problems at moments, but we addressed that going into next year. And so I thought the defense actually played really well, and the defense has me very excited for next year. A lot of question marks feel like they've been, at least somewhat answered, and has me feeling good going into next season. Now the bad, or actually one good thing about this offense is I thought Mekhi Bernard, once he got going and really I thought Mekhi Bernard, the stat line's not crazy. Mekhi Bernard had, let's pull it up here. He had, my mouse is being all weird. I don't know what's going on. Okay, Mekhi Bernard had 9 carries for 31 yards and 3 catches for 24 yards. But it did feel like as the game got going and he, got a little bit of the rust off, he really started to look very good. So I'm very excited about having Mekhi Bernard back next year. I think it's a really good sign and something I'm excited to see. So that's a positive on the offense there. I didn't think the offensive line looked terrible. There were some blown plays by the tackles at times, or just in general by the O-line at times. But in general, they didn't seem that bad. I don't know how much of that was Northwestern letting off the gas because of what was going on with the quarterback situation. Those are the positives, but let's talk about some of the problems today. Bryson Barnes was, that has to be some of the worst quarterback play. I've been a Jets fan for a long time. I've seen some bad quarterback play. I was sitting here watching Charlie Brewer play for Utah. I haven't seen anything like that. I don't know what that was, dude. That was so bad. At the end of the third quarter, Luke Batari came in, and this is the very end, like 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Luke Batari comes in and throws a screen pass for 20 yards. And at that moment, Luke Batari has more passing yards than Bryson Barnes does with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. And Bryson had 2 interceptions. So I hope that kind of paints a picture for you guys. This was one of the worst games I've ever seen a quarterback play. Not trying to bag on Bryson, but something was clearly off. He had open guys all the time. Like, he had open guys almost every play and was not pulling the trigger. It was literally like, I could have told you what was going to happen when we threw the ball. He would drop back, he'd get nervous, he'd clutch, and then he'd just start to scramble around, try to make something happen with his feet. And there'd be guys open so many times. There was Money Parks where he doesn't see him until the end and then throws the ball deep, and then the ball gets intercepted. There was a Landon King wide open play. There were multiple, probably like 5 to 8 plays or five, like 10 plus, where it was like wide open guys and he's just not hitting them. I have no idea what was going on in his head. Bryson Barnes, though, can't really control that. And Bryson Barnes isn't going to be here after this year. So is what it is in that situation. My my number one question is, why didn't the coaches pull him? I don't know if this was a Kyle Whittingham thing or if this was an Andy Ludwig thing. Um, and I think the reason is that this was his last game at Utah and they wanted it to just be his game and be his last hurrah, because he's not leaving because he doesn't want to be a part of the team. He's leaving because he can't get the starting position over Cam, and this is his last year playing football, and he wants to go somewhere where he can start. That's a terrible reason to not pull this guy out of the game. Like, yes, we're all, we want the best for Bryson Barnes, but we are Utah fans. We should not be losing bowl games for, sentimental reasons towards Bryson Barnes. That's how it felt tonight. Because, like I said, Luke Batari came in just a little bit and had more passing yards in one play than Bryson Yards had all game. That was really stressful to watch and just kind of cemented a rough offensive season with just dog crap offense for a whole game. That was a tough go. That was a tough go. That was tough to watch. Good thing is this season's over, and the next football game we play should have Cam Rising as the starting quarterback. And I thought a lot of spots around the quarterback position looked good. Offense isn't perfect. I think the defense looks like a, B plus, A minus heading into next year minimum. So I think that's a really good sign. I think the offense with Cam will look a lot different. So, guys, I'm still going to bring you guys content as it comes through, but it'll probably be a little less frequent now that the season's over. So those of you guys that are huge fans of the channel, and you guys watch all the videos, I just want you guys to know I really appreciate you guys watching and commenting. I know I don't get back to every comment, but I do read them all, and I appreciate you guys interacting. Seriously, it was a rough season. I mean, it was a rough go. This isn't what we expected. Some of us were thinking college football playoff potential. Some of us were thinking, absolutely Pac-12 champs, maybe a Rose Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where a lot of us were heading into this year, and that is not how this year went at all. But hopefully this is the season we needed to make next season that much more special. All right, before I get out of here, guys, please make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, comment down below. Any venting, any thoughts you have on the season, any thoughts you have on the game, I'd love to hear it. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I won't be putting out as much content in the off season, but as content comes, I just don't want to make content for the sake of making content. I want to make content because there's a reason and it's something you guys are going to want to watch. So, and if I get excited about stuff, I'll make a lot of content. I mean, it is what it is. All right. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, share the video with a friend. I'm out of here, guys. Heck of a ride this season. Not the season we wanted, but considering everything, it could have been a lot worse. I'm out of here. Go Utes.